Just quickly, bro, I want to mention that I do one-on-one coaching. I want to help you become that young man I know you can be and that you want to be. I will be your accountability partner. I will coach you and we'll have weekly calls. Message me on Instagram or go to the link in the description and sign up to the second tier and we'll start working together. Let's get to the video now. It's so annoying that every single one of us young guys, we aren't taught how to become men, how to go through life. We ain't told how to make money. We ain't told anything about what the real world is like. I mean, if you think about when we went to school, university, to the books that we read, there might have been tiny little bits of information saying that, the world is kind of fucked. And how we're going about it, the normal way, that what schools told us, that what our parents have told us, is ruining us. It truly is. Now, some of you boys may have grown up and you might have had some good leadership. Maybe you had a strong masculine father or a big brother. Maybe just someone in your school, one of your friends that you knew, he knew something, and that kind of developed your mindset. But I never had that growing up, bro. The friends that I hung out with growing up, bro, were drug addicts. They were young guys getting into trouble, doing a world of things that, bro, can't even put onto YouTube. But the truth is, they didn't know what I now know, but I didn't know back then what I know now. And the truth is, we're all being controlled. We're being conditioned, manipulated by, this is going to sound funny, by the world. And there's not this big conspiracy against you, but there's this big agenda against men. And that's what I'm going to teach you and make you understand that in this life, you can either be the one being controlled or you can be the one in control. Now, I didn't know this for so long. And being the young man I am, 27 years old, I can go back to probably about 12 years ago, about 15 years ago. Let's go about that. Anyway, when I was younger, I went down that whole rabbit hole of doing drugs and being a degenerate and getting into trouble. And I did a whole bunch of things, bro. And I always had this kind of just hatred towards authority. Now, this is probably because I grew up in the hood, bro, and in the ghetto, and it's kind of been conditioned in me. But for a lot of you boys, you do know that in my early years, before the age of 15, I was very insecure, very scared, very timid, just very there's so much drama going on, and that kind of made me this weakling. But then as I got a little older and I became a degenerate and an idiot, I just hated authority. And this isn't like the fuck the police type thing. No, this was I just hated being told what to do. Just always hated it. And that really went through all the way up until today. And it will continue going my whole life of just I do hate being told what to do. I'm not stupid enough to know that I'm not always going to be right and there are people that can't teach me. But I just hate being told, do this, do this, do this. And for the longest time, we've all been told what we can and can't do. From the time that we could even be cerebral enough to understand this world, when we were 3 or 4 or 5 years old, we've been told when to eat, when to go to bed, when to take a piss, when to take a break, and everything in between. And that's conditioned us to be sheep. Now, of course, your parents are going to look after you and shit, bro. And they're going to tell you go to bed and you can't go out. That's just parents. But as you slowly start to get older, you see it in school, in university, in your job, in relationship. If you're not man enough, you're always being told what to do. And we're being controlled. We're being controlled by the world, by social media, by instant gratification. Really think about this now. There's this whole world of control being put above you. And now I'm going to break this open so that you can become the man in control. So, I want to open this up just so that you get a bit of understanding. Why would this world have this agenda? This way of wanting to make men weak? Why would they want to do this? Because weak men are men that can be controlled by society, right? Governments want people that just wake up every day, do the shit jobs, don't question what's on TV, think a certain way, act a certain way, pay their taxes on time. And that's what the world wants because, the people higher up in the ranks, they get to, what? They get to keep being in power. Because what's the strongest force in this world? It's men that understand, men that fight back. And they don't want that because they'd be outnumbered. So the system, the world, the government. It sounds like I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm really not, bro. But like when you go down this rabbit hole, they do have this level of control. So I want you to look at this, right? You become massively obedient to the 9 to 5, right? Let's just put it like that. Now, I will tell you that you become profitable as well. So as you go through life and you're a very weak man, you're always clocking in 9 to 5, you don't have any purpose, no mission. What happens is you just become this streamline of profit, right? So first of all, you will always be paid, minimum wage, or they'll lure you in with a salary that is just, you think it's a lot, but then you got to work all these hours over, like not getting paid enough and all of this. So they will lure you in with minimum wage. Or they'll make it like, they'll spruce it up. Oh, here's 100K, but, you got to sell your soul to us type of stuff, right? But then what also happens, right? When you make men weak, when they see commercials on TV, or the specials online, or really anything, right? Because most weak men are very insecure. So they're the men that sign up to OnlyFans. They're the men that have to try and finance a car to try and get a 4 out of 10 girl. Like, the world becomes profitable off men. So not only do you become this worker ant for society, you become this profit for big companies, for OnlyFans models, for everything out there. They all profit from weak men. So you have to really take this into consideration, bro, that the whole world wants you to be weak because you become someone that doesn't question the whole world. You don't question what's going on, and you just become this money maker. But not a money maker that gets your family out of a bad situation and allows you to be free. You just line the pockets of the people above you. And that's a joke, and that's what so many of us aren't realizing about this world, is we're just cogs in the machine that, the rich get richer and we at the bottom just get more and more fucked. Then we get on antidepressants and we get, mental health issues, and we need to try and make ourselves happy by eating fast food and doing drugs and going out every weekend, and we work so hard for the little money we got, and then boom, we put it back into just trying to feel better. Anyway, I went on a whole tangent, but let me really open this up, okay? Because as a weak man, this world is that. You're just a puppet. You're just someone that is manipulated to think a certain way, act a certain way, and be a certain way. Now, I want to give you an idea of what does this look like? Because I will even tell you right now, I'm working myself out of this because we're all thrust into it from school, university, from just the modern life, and we have to get out. So what does looking like someone that, is stuck in the system? What does that look like? The biggest thing, and I will say this, is living paycheck to paycheck, right? So that's being a young man, and maybe you got a couple of dollars saved, but if shit really hit the fan, you wouldn't have enough. This is the biggest thing to why you as a man are being controlled, because you couldn't do anything. You couldn't raise your voice because you might lose your job. You can't do this sort of thing because your finances restrict you. You need to stay stuck in this one house that you can't afford because you got no money to pay it off, right? And so you're stuck with your life dedicated to the bank trying to pay the mortgage off. This is a big thing. The next thing is that you're addicted to instant gratification, right? And this will come in many shapes and forms, bro. This is either going to be fast food, this is going to be doom scrolling, this is going to be drugs and alcohol, this is going to be just you just living a life chasing quick dopamine. Your whole life is just dopamine, but not real. Not sitting out the sun, or not cold approaching a baddie. No. It's all just quick on your phone, putting stuff in your body to make you feel some sense of some form of happiness, but it's all rubbish. But this is how you're being controlled. Think about it just like this. These two things alone. You're being controlled because you live paycheck. You can't do anything. You're controlled, bro. This is massive. And then also, when you're addicted to, or you're a slave to your phone, to instant gratification, they can put something in front of you. They can put an ad in front of you and you'll purchase that thing. They can make you spend hours of your time looking at ass on Instagram or on sitting on TikTok or YouTube. You just sit there and you're doing nothing. Becoming weaker and weaker by the scroll. This is the big thing, bro. The next thing, and I'm going to label this as just being weak, right? And what's a weak man? a man that doesn't take risks, a man that doesn't say what he means, a man that doesn't do what he wants to do. This is a big problem in our society, bro, is that we're losing our voice. We're losing our manhood because we are being controlled by the 9 to 5, by the government, by just going through life and not really seeing what's going on. So if I was to take a look at my life for many, many years, bro, and I didn't have this clue of what was going on, I was just plugged in, genuinely plugged in, and you're probably the same as so many other people. And I'm not having a go at you, because even to this day, bro, I'm plugged in. I have a mortgage that I'm paying off. I have a job that I gotta, be there on time. And I hate it, but I'm trying to get myself out. And we're going to speak about that, right? But this is a big thing, that when you're weak, even in your body, because that will relate back to a weak mind, which a weak mind doesn't allow you to take risks or do challenging things. It doesn't allow you to just go through life permeating and getting what you want. It all relates back to that you're controlled. And the sad truth is, I would say 95% of our generation, we're being controlled. We're being controlled by external validation. Got to get 1,000 likes on Instagram. Got to get, 1,000 views on YouTube. Just everything. It's I'm going to make sure that this guy doesn't think I'm weird and this girl kind of thinks I'm cool. And validation from the outside. We're all being controlled by just this world. And I'm going to show you right now what you can do to take back control. Because this is the biggest thing. Once you know that you're okay, you might be thrust into this life where you are controlled. What can you do? Okay, now this is how I've started to look at it, right? The most important thing, and I relate this back to almost every video that I film, is that you have to become that guy, that motherfucker who's about it. Who's about it. Listen to that. Just a man who's about it. I'm going to say it one more time, bro. A man who's about it. And that's getting every single area of your life on point, right? And the most crucial one that you can get started on today is always going to be, right, your body. And the famous quote that's always been around is a strong body equals a strong mind. Well, that is the honest truth. Because I almost always can guarantee when a man is fat and overweight, or he's skinny fat, or he's just ain't got a good body, there's a element inside him. There's a fire that's dimmed because of his weight. Because your body knows, bro. Your muscles know. When you're walking around and you've got a six-pack abs, you're shredded, you got your bicep vein popping out, you feel like a king, you feel like a don, you feel like an emperor. But when you're fat, and I've been fat, and I've been skinny fat, and I've been every body in between, bro, you feel it. And what that does, that relates back to your mind. There's this thing I want to do, but I can't do it because XYZ might judge me. My boss is yelling at me. I'll just submit to him. Or my girl's telling me what to do and I'll just follow her lead. Bro, it all relates back to your body. As you start to get the body on point, the confidence, the ego, the self-esteem, the masculinity starts to burn through you. And then boom, you're running through this world just for your body alone, because you have to really build yourself up in the traits that you build in the gym of delaying gratification, pushing yourself, showing up, being consistent, right? That extrapolates to the outside world, and that just makes you stand back with your head held high, your shoulders back, saying, let's go. Truly said, bro. The next thing, right, is that you have to master your time now. Now, this relates even back to myself, bro. That I've been fortunate enough I've set myself up where I only have to work 3 days a week. Even for my property that I own, it's an investment property, so I have someone living in there. They're paying off the mortgage. So I've set myself up that right now I'm still plugged in to a job, but it's 3 days a week. So with that understanding, I realized that my time was the biggest thing that I needed to get back. And that's the same thing for you. So you need to control your time, right? You need to control it. And how this looks, right? A lot of you might have to go to a job right now, like I still do, but you have to win the minutes that you're not there. So you have to wake up earlier, hit the gym, right? Do whatever it is that you got to do, working on your business or read a book, whatever is going to elevate you, to going to boxing class, having this dialed in morning routine or nighttime routine. Everything outside of your job or school needs to be dedicated to winning. That's it. Everything has to be work. Yeah, it's because it takes work to build your body, it takes work to build your business, it takes work to build your social skills, it takes work to build, just your general skills alone. But you have to be working 24/7. Even right now, bro, in the job that I have, on my break, I will do the things that I gotta do. If it's getting back to some of my students, if it's meditating, bro, I'm always just working 24/7. Go. Because I now know how valuable my time is. So the time that I am not at work, and even when the time that I am at work, I'm just going. And you might think that this is tiring, but this is what I know that it takes. Because everyone that I've looked at as a role model inspiration that you can even take from, bro, is that they all have this absurd amount of just vigor every single day. They're no rest, no days off, just win. And I've seen that, and I'm relating that back to you. So you have to take that on board. Manage your time. Look at what's distracting you. Delete the apps. Get rid of it. Is your friend distracting you? Is your girlfriend distracting you? Get rid of them. Get rid of what's stealing your time, and then boom, use that time to level yourself up. The next thing is going to be mastering your mind. And this is a big thing because, this does relate back to your body, and your body does relate back to your mind. So they kind of, they link together. But you have to build your mindset. Now, your mindset is built on keeping your word. So the reason I have such a strong frame, my mindset is built, is because for the last 5, 6, 7 years, I've been consistently putting myself into the furnace of life and doing challenging shit and doing things that scare me. But then also with that, I've been staying disciplined, keeping my word, not making excuses. And you have to be that man that just goes through life. Discipline, no excuses, go, never stop, right? And as crazy as that sounds, that's what gives you that mindset of nothing can stop me. Bring it on, world. You're trying to control me? No, I'm gonna push back. I'm the one in control of my life, not you. That's what happens as you start to build your mindset. So no excuses, discipline, do what you're supposed to do regardless of how you feel, right? This starts to bring you back into control. You're in the front seat of your life, right? And then what happens as you start to go through your life, discipline, mindset build, this will give you the ability to build your life into whatever you want it to be. So everything that we want, right? Whether it's money, which money will easily relate back to becoming free, which every single one of us, I don't give a fuck what people say. You need a plan to get rich. Whatever it is, bro, make a plan. People that say money doesn't buy happiness, well, let's at least get to that point. And let's try to we'll figure out the money problems, and if we need to do some other shit when we got money, but you have to focus on the money, right? Money will come through your purpose, it'll come through your mission, but you have to have a plan. Get rich, how are you gonna do it? Not slow, you gotta be urgent. You gotta be some guy that's got no patience and is working, I need it yesterday type mentality. So that's big, bro. And this allows you to escape. Because when you've got your mind on point, when you've got your body on point, when you've got your finances on point, right, then who can really stop you? You can say no because, well, you don't need to work a job. You can say what you want because no one can fire you. No one's going to tell you what to do because, well, you're on point. So everything relates back to getting your body on point, to having a fortified, ironclad mindset, to getting your finances on point, to where, well, you're in control of your life. You can do what you want to further enhance your life, whether that's buying a place, whether that's traveling around the world, whether it's starting your business or starting a second business. This allows you to be just free. And I will say this, bro, hand on my heart, as a young man that's still plugged in a little bit, 3 days a week in the system, and having 4 days where I'm free, I remember the days that I was working 10 days back to back, how I felt. I felt weak. I felt slow. I felt sluggish. I felt insecure because I was stuck. I was controlled. Now still having, this part element of me, still stuck in it, but 70% of it out, I feel it even more. Body's on point. I know what I'm doing. My mind's right. Finances are getting better. Things are popping. Bro, how I feel is more uncontrollable to any external person, thing, and I'm in control of my life. I do what I want. I say what I want. I act how I want. I don't give a fuck. And Does that make me a bad person? No. Does that make any person with the mindset that I have, or people even more free than I am right now, does that make them bad? No. It makes them, well, truly them. Because we've all meant to be free. It's just, we've all been stuck in this jail because we were put in it without even knowing. So take on board what I said, bro. Listen to what I got to say, and I promise you your life will start to tenfold. You'll get back into the driver's seat of your life, and you'll be living your life the way that you want and the way that you've been dreaming of. If you want to do coaching with me one-on-one, I will help you take back control of your life, bro. Get you on point. Message me on Instagram or go to the link in the description and sign up to the second tier, and we will get you just on that track of dominating, winning life, and being in control of your life. I love you, bro, and I genuinely mean that. I mean that.